A Scottish Love Scheme. It premiered on Hallmark Channel on January 13th and stars Erica Durance and Jordan Young. I was very much looking forward to this one because I absolutely love Erica Durance. I'm already a big fan of hers from Smallville, so I'm really happy to see her working with Hallmark now. Jordan Young is a new name for me, but I read his bio on the Hallmark app, and I can see he's been very popular in Scotland, which is apropos for this movie. This was the second new movie released for Hallmark for 2024, and like last week's premiere, this one also takes place internationally. I'm not gonna lie, I've watched it a couple of times now, and the first time through, I turned on the closed captioning. I need just a little help understanding some of the dialogue. Don't get me wrong, I love that they got Scottish actors to play these roles, but sometimes my ear couldn't quite understand what they were saying through the thick accents, but I didn't let that ruin anything for me. So, let's dive in with a little background on these two main characters. Lily is recently divorced, amicably so, no children. And up until now, she's been heavily involved in her husband's family business, the DePaul Brewery. She's been the head of marketing for them, and while she says she loved being there, it no longer made sense for her to stay after the divorce.
But your family started this brewery.
So now she finds herself at a point in her life where she's starting over and has signed up for a 6-month photography course in Spain. So you might be thinking, wait, isn't this movie called A Scottish Love Scheme?
I'm not coming back afterwards.
And yes, it is. But before she gets to Spain, she and her mother, Kate, go on a trip back home to Scotland. Over the years, they've had many trips together, visiting and staying with some very close friends.
Well, this is her home.
What Lily doesn't know is that her mother's been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Kate chose to keep it a secret from her because she was really hoping to enjoy this one last mother-daughter trip together without everyone fussing and worrying about her health.
One last trip.
Before I continue, let's take a look at the incredible Scottish countryside. I love these shots, and I found a story online about the real house where they stayed. I've linked to the article below, so check that out if you'd like to learn more. Okay, let's talk about Logan. He's a widower with a 10-year-old son, and he, along with his 2 brothers, are also heavily involved in their family's business, Campbell's, a Scottish distillery. He took things over about 5 years ago after his mom retired, and unfortunately the bills are mounting, and Logan has been feeling a lot of pressure and working very hard to save the business. One of the projects he's been working on is a new line of whiskey they're about to launch called Frost. But apparently, so has their #1 competitor, Bonnie Auld. We find out at the dinner table that Bonnie Auld has shared a sneak preview of the label for their new launch, and it looks too much like the new Frost label design. Now, Mari and Kate, the 2 mothers, have been lifelong best friends, and part of this trip to Scotland is, well, just as the title of the movie suggests,
You can catch up with Logan.
also a matchmaking scheme of theirs to bring together the now single Lily and Logan.
If you say so.
When Logan broke the news of needing to redesign their new Frost label, Mari conveniently points out,
We've got a marketing guru right here at the table.
and she practically volunteers Lily for the task of redesigning the label.
She'd love to do it.
And that way she and Logan will be working closely together on this trip. I have to say, I thought Mari and Kate were really cute. There was one morning where they coordinated things so that Mari sent Logan out to mail a letter, and at the same time, Kate intentionally gave bad directions to Lily to find a local coffee shop.
And Mom told me there was some good coffee to be had around here.
So, surprise, surprise, they ran into each other, and that gave them some time to chat and get reacquainted.
Actually, I ran into Logan.
That same day, Logan invited her to meet for dinner at a local pub so they could begin discussing plans for the new label design. I also thought it was really cute that Lily changed her outfit 3 times before dinner.
It's just dinner at a pub. Come on, Lily.
Why? Been there, done that. Lily also bonded a bit with Logan's son, Finn, and for a little action and comic relief in the movie, everyone all went out to support and cheer on Finn for his rugby tryouts. I don't know that the scene necessarily added much to the overall story, but it was fun to see some cultural differences between rugby and American football. Not to mention, and this is where the comic relief played in, how spectators behave in Scotland as opposed to here in America. Apparently, this is an American thing.
We don't really do that.
I have mixed feelings about Finn. not about the actor who played him. Bradley Connell did a great job. But sometimes I wonder if these scriptwriters tend to forget how to let children speak like children. And this was one of those times. For the most part, I liked Finn's character, but occasionally he'd say a line that made me think, really? I don't know too many 10-year-olds who talk like that.
Smooth is Scotland's national drink.
I don't know, maybe it's a Scottish cultural thing, or as my husband reminded me, maybe he's just parroting what his dad has said to him before. I'm just saying I think they could do a little better here with the script writing for kids. So we were about halfway through the movie at this point, and it was time to start showing how activities like this affected Kate's health. She was pretty exhausted by the end of the day, and while this movie is primarily a love story, a secondary story of Kate's health is still significant.
Kate is exhausted.
Shortly afterward, they showed us how Logan and Lily were developing a connection and even spent an afternoon whiskey tasting.
But you still haven't had a proper tasting at the distillery.
When the story suddenly turned due to Kate's health, Mari called Lily to tell her that her mother had fainted and an ambulance was on its way. Logan casually mentioned something to her about Kate's illness.
Her illness? Are they just keeping her comfortable?
Because he had no idea Lily had been kept in the dark all this time. Naturally, she took it as, how could you have known all this time that she was ill and not say anything? It caused a little bit of a rift between the two of them.
You know what? I don't have time for this.
Yes, Lily overreacted, but I'm going to say it's understandable considering the shocking news she had just heard.
I didn't want this big black cloud of doom hanging over us.
And you know, the little rift between them, it didn't last long.
Honestly thought you knew and were putting on a brave face.
The last half hour of the movie is when I truly felt the magic happening. Once everyone knew about Kate's illness,
Guess the cat's out of the bag then, eh?
Logan's son, Finn, wanted to do something special for her.
Does everyone have time to make a surprise?
He mentioned he was going to ask his grandmother, Mari, for help, and I had no idea what he could have possibly planned. And what he did was amazing.
Where are we going?
On an adventure.
He and Mari put together a sightseeing itinerary for Kate and Lily to spend the entire day together visiting all of her favorite places from her childhood. In some of the places, Finn and or his dad and uncles would run ahead of them and get the next location all ready for their arrival. There was afternoon tea in the high gardens and flying kites on the beach. These scenes were absolutely precious, and I definitely got choked up. That's when I knew this movie was magical for me. And of course, as with all good Hallmark movies,
We did it, Mari.
we had our happy ending.
Did you ever doubt us?
So how many stars do I give this one? I don't know. I'm reserving my 5-star ratings for the very best of the best. But this was so good, I don't know if 4 stars does it justice. So I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. A Scottish Love Scheme really was a great movie in my opinion, and I absolutely felt the magic, although maybe not so much until the end.
I would love to see Barcelona with you.
But I will definitely watch it again. So what did you think? Do you agree with me, or maybe not so much? I do hope you'll share your thoughts in the comments below. I love talking about these movies and always enjoy meeting others who have just as much fun watching them as I do. And thank you so much for watching this episode of Magical Movie Club. If you like this and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel and consider following us on Instagram at Magical Movie Club. You can find that link below in the description, as well as links to the preview, a sneak peek video, and the movie page at Hallmark.com. We'll see you next week to chat more about our favorite magical movies.